This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to jump through Krang's portal to visit Eternia so we can look at the Turtles of Grayskull Mossman figure, the Mutated Master of Nature. This figure is another Walmart exclusive that was hard to find. The pre-orders sold out pretty quickly and still have not shipped, but if you're lucky, you can find them in the wild like I did with this one. And as everybody knows, pre-ordering figures from Walmart is basically a crapshoot because you don't know if they're going to actually send you your order or cancel it. So if you see it in the stores and you've already pre-ordered, buy the damn thing, save the receipt, and if your pre-order comes in or you can't cancel it, just go ahead and return one of them when it gets in there. You know what I mean? Although in the case of Mossman, this is another figure where you've got multiple display options, so having a couple of them is actually probably good. We do get some unique artwork on the side, and some more unique artwork on the other side. And then we jump to the back of the box where we have a nice scene of Mossman fighting Leonardo. Eternia's living manifestation of nature, Mossman, joined He-Man to investigate the mysterious disturbance at the Swamp of Gangoon. After an ambush took him out of commission, Mossman rose from what felt like a nightmarish slumber as a brainwashed abomination of all he once held dear. Well, if he's brainwashed, did he really awake in a nightmare? Because if he's brainwashed, why would he know it was a nightmare? Anyway, we also see that you can attack with the Venus flytrap. Well, not a Venus flytrap. Technically a Venus flytrap, or designed after a Venus flytrap, but you can attack with the flytrap or swap onto the head to chomp enemies. And this is what I'm talking about for multiple display options. Let's open this sucker up. On the inside, we get some instructions on how to swap out the parts. We got some tentacles, we've got a head, and we've got the fly trap and an extra neck piece. His little card comes in a bag, which makes me wonder if that one that I got that did not was a fluke. We got our little instruction sheet showing us what parts can pop off. We have really nice, actually, this is a pretty nice image of Mossman here. I like it. Mossman, the mutated master of nature. Mutagen master powers. Mossman. Camouflage in nature. Shapeshift into plant life. Telepathic communication with plants. Mutation. Zombified manifestation of the dark forest. Overgrown with dangerous plants. Overpowering toxic scents. So just to pop off a couple bits of information here, Mossman here does use the same hands and feet that the Demogorgon for the Stranger Things crossover used. And based on the images that we've seen so far of the Vecna figure coming out with He-Man, the tentacles here and these things on the shoulders, the shoulder pads, are also going to be reused. I don't know if this is also going to be reused. I know this does not look like the front of what I saw, but it is possible that they might have a different item that they put in there, and that this actually might be reused on Vecna as well. But I don't know for sure until that figure comes out. Mossman here is also done in a transparent green plastic. Hopefully that doesn't mean in like 5 years he shatters. But the overall effect is cool, and this head sculpt may be the best Mossman head sculpt they've given us. And I sincerely hope maybe when they do like if they do a cartoon collection version, they will give us this head flocked. Timber. Because it is really nice and it is a unique sculpt. It is not the same one as we got before, which is just a variation on the Beastman head. But yeah, this flocked would look great, I think. And I would swap out the head on this thing in an instant if that was the case. Although I wonder if, like I said, there's going to be two options for displaying this guy, and I wonder if I could take this head, paint it, and then flock it myself and use it. Anyway, now this leads us to some questions. Do we add a bunch of the accessories onto him to do articulation, or do we wait? I think we will put his tentacles in there, which are done in kind of this slightly transparent purple. On the back of him, you can see he's got, whoops, same kind of holes that most of the turtle figures have for their shells. In this case, it's for tentacle placement. I'm not going to lie, I do think that looks a little bit silly. But since we're doing this, we might as well put that in place for the articulation test, which we will start at the head, which is, of course, on a ball joint like them all. It can do a 360. It is kind of hindered by the harness and the big old spikes on it, but it's not horrible. I'm pretty sure that the arm is going to run into the tentacles when we spin it like this, as he's trying to force the tentacle around his head, and he knocks his own tentacles off when he spins his arm around. So aside from that, obviously we've got the hinge up. The shoulder pad kind of hinders it a bit, but also slides down a little. So you can kind of see it squish here. Again, we can spin it around easier without the tentacles on there. Yeah, I just wanted to see what would happen. We got a hinge up and a hinge down. The less than 90. Again, though, because of the design of this shoulder pad, it does interfere a bit with the actual movement. Although with the way this is designed, I wonder if they're on the wrong arms. I don't know, like, I guess that would interfere too, huh? Because I was thinking maybe this one was in a slightly different position, that possibly it wouldn't interfere when the arm or when the elbow is bent, but no, I think it still would. There's that pin in there, so you can move him like that. You can spin his wrist around. There is an in and out on there, though it doesn't move as much as some of the other figures. Pretty much like the Demigorgon. Actually, when you get right down to it, it's the same body as the Demigorgon used. Because it's still Beastman's body otherwise. So, we've got the spin at the waist. We can kick up yay far. We can kick back yay far. The knees bend at the less than 90 that all the Origins figures do. Although, the way it feels when it bends is a bit concerning to me. We have the boot cut. We can bend the foot up and back, but there is no angle pivot really, although you can spin it around. Because of the design of the feet, that does make the figure a little bit taller than average. As you can see next to his mossy version. He also comes with this extension for his arm. The way it apparently is supposed to fit, however, is this is a handle right here. And when you put it in the hand, it just kind of makes it look like he is extending his hand as a weapon to attack. Uh, Not exactly the best design, in my opinion. I think I would rather have seen them design it to go over the wrist and hook on that way rather than a handle, so that his hand is totally covered and it actually looked like it was specifically was coming out his hand that was growing. You know what I mean? Let's try that again. So if it went over the wrist so that, or the wrist and the entire hand and clipped on, so the hand was hidden inside of it, it would just look like the entire hand just grew out to attack. As far as going on the other hand, let's see how that looks. Oh, that doesn't really work at all. I mean, it's more awkward looking than the other side, in my opinion. You can disagree if you want, but you would be wrong. Also, I'm a bit confused as to how the Venus flytrap part is supposed to work as a weapon. Okay, so if we plug this into here, does he hold on to? Is that how that's supposed to go? Well, he definitely can't stand up with that in his hand, that's for sure. The flytrap part does have its own articulated mouth. I think I would have liked it better, however, if this went all around and both of these flaps moved instead of just the one. So it would be a flower with the two flaps inside to grab on instead of just being the top of a flower and then just the one side grabby. And I don't know if I just explained that well. If you're sitting there thinking, what is wrong with this moron? But yeah, if this is how this is supposed to go as a handheld weapon, and it's just terrible. However, not to be undone, this is also supposed to be able to be used as an alternate head for him. So we pop his nice looking head off. Pop that in place like so. Open that up. And honestly, he looks a lot more like the Demigorgon. Let's put the... I wonder if these will help balance him out more or not. So that gives us the whole Venus flytrap head version of him. We got the mouth on top there. Although if you wanted, you could spin it around and have it be like this, but that kind of looks even sillier. You could also go like this. This is also where doing it sideways, where having this as a separate piece from the rest of the flower again, so that both sides closed in the middle would have looked better. So I guess technically the only real decent way to put this might be like this, because then it looks like the tongue is coming out, I guess. Though my preference would be to have that at the top like that, you know? And if you look at this viney bit here, I'm not sure how well it's going to come in. It does appear as if there is a can of mutagen trapped within him. So that's kind of cool, if that's what that's supposed to be. It's too bad they didn't paint it, though, if that is what it's supposed to be with the ends of it. But I guess if we're going to do this, this would be our ultimate deluxe Mossman right here, ready for attack. I need help. Anyway, if you really want to kind of be goofy, you can also use that neck extension with the regular head for Mossman here, deluxe. Honestly, that's I think might be even creepier than the than using the Venus flytrap head. Just saying. Overall, I do think this is a cool figure. I like the head sculpt, and I hope they release a flocked version of it. Like, it's too bad they didn't release it with this. And being that you can still find this Mossman, or this Mossman, at Walmart, they should have had this one come with a flocked head. Like, I would have taken a flocked head over this monstrosity here any day. Because I want that head flocked and painted to go on this body. So, anyway, I think that will complete our look at the Turtles of Grayskull deluxe version of Mossman. Once again, as the Walmart exclusive, they apparently did not put the extra parts for MOTUO in there, and we should probably be expecting the rest of that to come out with the deluxe Splinter and deluxe April O'Neil in the most god-awful looking version of the Sorceress costume ever. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And remember, if you hated this video, send it to somebody you don't like to torture them. Peace and love.